Tonight, a Placer County family has a warning for all parents and children about the potentially lethal combination of opioids and social media. It's a nationwide concern that has gone largely unnoticed until recently, and it's now shaken the Whitney High School community in Rockland, and unless changes are made, it's just a matter of time before it happens again.
You ready? Me too.
The Didier family was treated to beautiful music like this. But since the sudden and shocking death of their beloved Zachary, the piano has fallen silent. 17-year-old Zachary Didier was a straight-A student with what seemed to be a limitless future. A standout athlete in soccer and track, on his way to becoming an Eagle Scout. The lead actor in the school play, and a talented, self-taught musician.
Zach was just a beautiful soul. He loved life, he loved people, he loved his family.
The Whitney High School senior was set to graduate in June with honors and had his sights on Stanford or UCLA.
He loved winning. He loved setting high goals and accomplishing it. It was something that I think he even was wondering, well, what are my limits? What are my bounds? You know, what can I do or what can I not do?
Today, his parents, Chris and Laura, are left only with their dreams of what Zach could have become and their memories of the amazing 17 years they had with him.
We struggled with knowing to do this or not because we want Zach to be remembered for how he lived. He lived the most incredible life. But we have to talk about how he died because it's information we all have to know.
On December 27th, during winter break, Chris found Zach at his desk with his head resting on his arm. He wasn't breathing, and CPR had no effect.
I was utterly confused and obviously in a fog and traumatized. I'm a
What was first an inexplicable tragedy.
It was like, how does this happen? What happened? He just fell asleep.
Has since become a cautionary tale. Zach was a victim of fentanyl poisoning.
Unfortunately, we've now come to know other parents who have suffered this tragic type of loss with fentanyl poisoning, and it's heartbreaking how many of us there are.
Laura and Chris didn't know it, but on a couple of occasions, Zach had experimented with prescription drugs, the same medications millions of people use for pain management every day. Zach thought he was buying Percocet, but what he got instead was a counterfeit pill made of fentanyl, a powerful prescription painkiller that is 50 times stronger than morphine.
It's a fake pill. It doesn't contain anything that they think it does. Zach did not want to buy fentanyl. But that's what happened.
Days later, and still without all the answers, Chris and Laura buried their youngest child at St. Mary's Cemetery in Sacramento.
If you're a parent, I'm sure you can imagine it. I'm sure you've worried about it. We pray that you will never have to experience it.
The Didier family is haunted not only by the fake pills, but by the way Zach got them. He didn't slip down a dark and seedy alley. He just opened Snapchat, the same phone app your kids probably have, the one with all those silly camera filters. Did you have any idea that it could be as easy as picking up your phone, clicking on an app?
No idea at all. We had zero idea that could happen.
Never heard of that before.
We'd never heard of that risk. We'd never heard that drug dealers are using these social media platforms.
Laura and Chris say they struggled with whether to share Zach's story because of the stigma surrounding drugs. Although Zach had no history of addiction, they were worried that the truth might tarnish people's memory of him.
in our inner circle of people that we were sharing what we suspected had happened, we couldn't believe how everybody's reactions were. I had no idea of this, Laura. I had no idea of this. And so then we realized, okay, we can't not share what we know.
This is an important message to get out. This is a big game changer, and what may have been okay or relatively safe in the 70s and 80s or even the 90s is a very different environment right now.
You can have a child that is curious and tries something one time and they're gone. There's no learning your lesson, there's no slippery slope. It's deadly. And there's the accessibility is mind-blowing.
Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy.
There's no doubt Chris and Laura are proud of their boy and all he accomplished, the places he went, the friends he made. And though we'll never know what Zach could have become, we know the legacy his parents are committed to leaving.
It hurts so bad. And if we can spare one family this pain.
To make sure no other child is lost the same way.
And we need to talk about this. We need to talk about what's happening. We can't protect Zach now. But hopefully we can protect your kids, or we can protect other kids who don't know. We did not know.